me on airplane mode.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let's go with my people, black people, Asian people, Caucasian people that just like to listen to people talk sports. Welcome to the Sideline Junkies, the Tuesday Night Flight. We are here to entertain you, take you around the world of sports through the air, baby. Ran into over at Tanger's Outlet, Ms. Zoe Miller. So we want to show her some love. The Nats end up making some moves today. Um, there's some information coming out of Dallas. The Pelicans make a move to get them a head coach. We can talk a little bit about the commander schedules. And then I want to see what the big guy thinks about what should the Wizards do? What are his thoughts on the Wizards? And that's going to be a two-man conversation, but I want him to start the conversation because I'm not sure where he at. I don't know. We talk about it. Tomorrow night. If you watch Nothing But Net, starring C. Perry, myself, and Josh, you're not going to have JG this week. We're going to talk the NBA and talk about what's going on. But I just want to get his thoughts because we've already covered this. So I know we're not going back to this tomorrow. So just get some thoughts, see what he talks about. Yeah, move that up a little bit. We got to talk about people doing dumb stuff. I'm surprised this wasn't Chris Russell's dumb of the day. But we'll all get to that at some point in time as we go out throughout this show. But there is one thing that's important. And that most important part is they call me the Midnight Rider. They call him the big guy KG. We are your hosts for the night. We are going to entertain you. We are here to give you the sports talk information, give you whatever you need, make you laugh a little bit, make you think about some old school songs maybe, because that's how we interact. That's how we talk. So if you catch a song and you missed it or you thought you heard it, you probably heard it because that's what we do. And with that being said, being the guy that I am, the Midnight Rider, I'm gonna turn this over to the host, the big guy KG, and I'm gonna let him put in the work and do what he always does, and that's guide us through a great show. So with that being said, big guy KG, take it away.
Welcome. Tuesday Night Flight. Thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction. Got to always make sure you put that there. When you said that about us coming through with the old school songs, the first thing I thought was, hey, we here to make you shout. Glory be to the one who knows what the funk's about, y'all. I would say the other thing, but I think we might get kicked off the air if I told you what we was gonna do to your ear hole. But anyway, moving right on. Midnight Rider, most important part of the show. How you feeling?
I'm good. And with that being said, let's go ahead and tell these people that tomorrow morning, when they get in their cars, sometime around 9:00, they can have the audio version of this. So just in case you didn't get enough of hearing our voices today, which I don't think you will, you can check us out tomorrow, the audio version. You know what I'm saying? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any place you get a podcast besides Odyssey, we there. And still learn from a guy that we love, used to be with us. Now he's doing this thing in the passenger seat. He say we everywhere. Jack Carr, shout out to Jack, but we everywhere. So let's make this thing happen. So don't forget tomorrow when you're commuting and you don't want to hear the junkies, you don't want to hear about the store, hear the prank call from Tommy. You know what I'm saying? You just want to have a good time. You don't want to stress. You don't want nothing heavy on your body, holding your soul. You come here. Get a little love. Let us entertain you because that's what we do. And if you want, at some point, I will yell, "Are you not entertained?" KG, take it away.
Most definitely. All right, let's start this off with showing some love. The Midnight Rider says Zoe Miller love.
Yeah. So I'm very biased on this situation, on this topic. Young lady, we met at the Tanger's Outlet. We interviewed her, myself and Jack. We posted the interview. I get DM off a messenger from her mom. So she's trying to track down the interview. So I passed the interview along, and in the time after that, the mom has done one hell of a job of trying to make sure I know when her next fight is and keeping me informed. Um, just a couple weeks ago, actually a couple months ago, I went to another one of her fights at Rosecroft. After she finished the fight, I did a quick interview with her. Um, had to use the grandma because I didn't have anybody to hold the camera for me. So grandma was involved, using holding the camera. And we talked to her, just doing the post fight result. So this week she had a fight. Um, I think it's called Thump with a Cause, and I apologize that I don't have the exact name of the event that she was at. Um, but she fought this weekend. She fought a young lady out of the Sugar Ray Leonard gym. Uh, of course, I mean it went the distance, and she ended up winning by decision. So um, she gets a nice championship belt at the end of this. Unfortunately, the belts didn't make it to the show in time, so she's going to end up getting her belt later on. But the fact that she was able to have this type of accomplishment, we just wanted to give her some love, let her know we were thinking about her. You had the sideline junkie support, and all those kids in this program. Um, the PVA Boxing Association, the PVA Boxing Academy. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm gonna say both. Um, some of the people we've met through that, just we haven't been out to an event lately, but we still think about you guys, and we always want to show support and show some love when we can. So I'll leave it at that, and that takes care of my first item. My second item, KG. I'm watching a little show called CBS Sportsline HQ. So they're talking about the NFL draft in 2026. There's a young lady that's a host. I think this guy, I can't think of his name, but he used to play at Alabama, running back. He's on the panel. There's a guy beside him on the panel, but then there's one guy. I'm a Chris Collinsworthy for you. Now here's a guy that at one point he went to a school because he had to do it for his family. He did it for his family. And now he's on CBS Sports HQ. My man, Mr. Brian Kelly, because I guess his family wanted him at CBS Sportsline HQ after he left LSU. So, shout out to my man, Brian Kelly, one of my favorite NCAA coaches. Because you know why? Because he did it for his family.
He did it for his family. Well, I got a second to love to Zoe Miller that you put out there. You know, you got fans here at the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, always gonna show you that love. Alvin Gamble checking in. What's happening?
What's up, Alvin?
Where you want to go? You want to go MLB or you want to go NBA?
Hey man, I'm gonna grab your coattail and you tell me where we going. And you
All
know what
right.
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna follow you.
All right, here we go. Nats make a move today. So if this is MLB, hit me off. What the Nats do?
So the Nats sent down Brady House. What's the other kid's name? They sent down two people. The second move didn't come down to later in the evening. They called up Andre Shapiro and Dylan Cruz. The important part of that is the Dylan Cruz part because he didn't break camp with the team coming out of spring training. They sent him down to work on some things. The issue was he was struggling to hit, and they didn't want him to struggle to hit at this level and still try to make adjustments on the fly. So what they did was they decided, hey, look, we're going to take the pressure off you. We're going to send you down. Now, some of this is spirited by the rules of baseball because by them sending him down and calling him up today, he doesn't have the opportunity to accrue enough days for this to count against his MLB status. So basically, it's going to give the Nationals an extra year when it comes to him before he can become a free agent. So most time you get 6 years, but in his case, they'll get by proxy a seventh because he hasn't had enough time or won't have enough service time in the major leagues this season to accrue that additional year like he should have. So they kind of get a benefit from this kid struggling early. The Chaparro kid, I think he can play first and third, but the main point of this was getting Brady House out of town. He is killing left-handed hitting. I think he's hitting 354 with 7 home runs against left-handers. The problem is on the other side when it comes to right-handers, he's not giving you anything. Right now, he leads Major League Baseball with 8 errors. Um, and he's just not hitting the pitches in the zone. So he's struggling with pitches inside the zone. So with that being said, those things just compound and become more problems um, for him as a player. So I think what they want to do is they want to send him back down, get him some everyday at bats, get him a reset, and start him all over and go from there.
All right. Alvin said, Midnight Ride, I'm an OG guru.
Ah, that's my guy. Yes, sir. Okay, OG. All right.
Perry checking in, gentlemen. He said he got 9 minutes with us. I think the Knicks play tonight, correct?
Yeah, I think they open up their series with the Cavs.
And Perry, since you here, I'm gonna go ahead and say it to your face since you here. They got to play Cleveland. I said it the other night. I don't think you was in the comments. I don't think you was listening. I said if they played Detroit, Knicks in 4. They played Cleveland, Knicks in 5. Go ahead and count. Just Knicks in 5. They went 4-1. Just right in there. I ain't playing. I'm not playing. So, great transition. Speaking of NBA, this right here. Now I just seen this. I've been running around. I've been cooking. Just got home from work. Dallas parts ways with Jay Kidd after 5 seasons. I'm gonna let you take this one first.
No, this is you have to at times when it comes to sports, you have to read the tea leaves. All right? You can't always just assume something's going to happen or assume that every piece of the puzzle is going to fit in correctly. Sometimes you're going to have a round peg trying to fit into a square hole. And that's what you get here. Because what happened was Jay Kidd actually put his hat in the ring to be the GM. When he didn't get that opportunity, they brought in Masad Najiri from Toronto. And Perry, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. You can throw the right name in there for me. And they also hired a GM. Now, we all know from our football experience that when you hire a GM and you hire a coach, and hire a team president, but you still got a coach, guess what happens? The coach may not fit into the philosophy and all those things, so now he becomes expendable. So, but that's just what I'm gonna give you right now because I guess C. Perry didn't see me earlier on which we'll call it, but he says, yeah, tomorrow, nothing but net, Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern time. Yeah, Messiah and Jerry. Okay, you Jerry. Okay, I apologize. I say in Jerry. But no, so yeah, Messiah Jerry is the new president of operations. He's gonna be the man running the show. I think he wants someone that's gonna fit his imprint so he can put his imprint on the organization. I know they got a draft specialist as their GM, a guy named Schmitz. So they're gonna move in the direction they want to move in so they can try to fix this and get Dallas back into contention. So it's gonna be interesting how it plays out, but yeah, we'll go more in depth tomorrow. But I just want to just put that out there because I know you're gonna have your opinion. So I want to get your opinion, and then tomorrow you get ours.
You know I'm a big J Kidd fan from the basketball court to the sidelines. Looking at his coaching career, him not being retained in Brooklyn after the 2013-14 season, after going 44-38, him not being retained was a problem for me. Him going to Milwaukee and trying to piece that together, and Giannis's rookie year, and then being fired at 23-22 in 17-18, wins the title with the Lakers in 20, gets the job in Dallas, goes 52-30 his first year. Then he goes 38-44, then 50-32, then goes 39-43, which nets them the number one overall pick, which was Cooper Flagg. Then he goes 26-56, and that gets him fired. I don't understand. Now I understand why he got fired because of all the front office moves. I don't think this was a firing of incompetence.
So think about this, KG. You're starting to talk about things in a nature where you're talking about using the wrong word. You're using the word fired. This was a mutual parting of ways. So normally when I read that, I think there's a difference in philosophies. So when you have a difference in philosophies, you can't always can't maneuver in that space, because if the GM or the president wants one way, um, you can't. This ain't Burger King. You know what I'm saying? The head coach can't have it his way if the GM wants it his way. Somebody's way got to give, and the guy with the power is the one that's going to always prevail at the end of this situation. So this isn't, because I know you like to talk about records and things of that nature, but sometimes in the NBA, I think we even said this before. Like, some of these coaches have a shelf life. This shelf life is like 5 years. After year five, I mean, you're walking on ice and thin ice unless you're, excuse me, Eric Spoelstra, unless you're Popovich, unless you're one of those guys that have been in place for a long time. You kind of have to um, you kind of have to deal in your space with your time frame. And I think that's the beauty of, trust me, if I'm an NBA coach, I love when you sign me for 5 years, because you keep me for three. Guess what you got to do for the last two?
Pay me my money.
Pay the man his money. So, yeah.
And Perry said he forced his way out of Brooklyn to take the Milwaukee job. He wasn't innocent.
Yep. True that.
So, but I'm not surprised. But of course, Jason Kidd will land on his feet. I'm sure this offseason he'll not have another coaching job again. I always say this. I wouldn't mind having Jay Kidd. I said this a while back. Wouldn't mind having him in Chicago. I miss Scott Skiles in Chicago. I enjoyed Scott Skiles in Chicago. Just me. But I wouldn't mind having Jason Kidd. I just think we got to get some pieces to put around for him to be successful, but we'll be all right. We got to get him now.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Rhodes, Hollywood, national champion 3 times. He said, I think Kidd will end up in Chicago. I hope you're right. Yeah, you did just say that.
Hollywood, I saw your request. I think we're shooting for 11:30 on Saturday. I just got to make sure that everything's clear. But if that works, I got to get some information, and we'll make it happen, Hollywood.
And Perry said I could see him in Chicago.
Why?
Look.
Whoa, why?
What do you mean, why?
Why would he do that to himself? Why would he do that to himself?
What do you mean?
They don't even have a pathway. What has Chicago put on the runway for this plane to take off? This show is called the Tuesday Night Flight.
Okay. In order for
unfortunately, right now, everybody's still at TSA. Because who's your defining player for the Bulls? Who's your superstar?
One right now.
I mean, I know you might want to get giddy with it. Pun intended.
Okay.
Bootzillas. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see that being a team. I don't see him being willing to take L's on his record to get that team over the hump, to get them up in the big leagues so they can take their turn at bat. Just don't see it.
You got Giddy, you got Buzelis. We got Mac McClung on a 2-way. Hopefully, he actually gets his turn. We still got Colin Sexton.
What?
Maybe he can get something out of Patrick Williams.
What?
We got Jalen Smith. Maybe he can get something out of him.
What?
Anthony Simmons.
Okay, I can deal with that.
It's not a whole lot.
Yeah, y'all the fourth pick?
Huh?
Y'all 4 or 5?
I think it's 4. Let me double check.
Y'all 4. You get more than likely Boozer or A-Cup.
But the cupboard's bare. Let me just go ahead and call it now. The cupboard's bare. But
I won't say it's bare, but it ain't. It ain't
looking fruitful. We got the 4th pick.
It ain't taking to the next step. So a coach like Kidd wouldn't take this job. This would have to go to a young, hungry assistant because a guy like Kidd would take a job where they're on the cusp, like if Detroit decides to fire J.B. Bickerstaff, Jason Kidd can go there. So it's certain places that because they are on the precipice. Now you make a move here, a move there, get you maybe a little bit better shooting in the offseason. That can work. God, who else can they go to? Trying to think of who else had like a disappointing end to their season. You can't come back to LA. I'm good on that one. Yeah, I think this is a year where maybe he sits out and tries to find a job. I think honestly, he must get in the front office sooner than anything else.
Now, Perry said why. I love this because this is his version of content. We'll talk about it. That's his version of content. Because look, you be gearing ready to go. He be like, we'll talk about it. When will you talk about it? Wednesday night, 7:30, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Facebook, X, YouTube.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net, baby. Number 4 overall pick, and we have a young corn Chicago kid would definitely help. I'm looking at a mock draft on ESPN, and Perry called it. It's Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina.
Okay.
And he said Caleb and Kidd. Like we're not going to get Boozer.
I think Caleb goes 3, but I mean it's all good.
And he says I can see it, but tomorrow.
Exactly.
Tomorrow. You promised me tomorrow. And he said, Matt. Oh, man, I just knew that was going to come. The kid can ball. Mac McClung can ball. He just has not got the opportunity. He can ball just like...
Hold on. Do you get a kickback every time you say Mac McClung can ball? Like, does like your Venmo gets like $5?
No, I've been watching this dude since high school. And I shout out to Professor Lucky because he turned me on to him when he was like in 11th grade. He was like, this dude's committed to Georgetown. You got to check him out. And he started sending me highlight videos. And I was like, oh. And then whatever happened whatever happened up on the hill in Georgetown that made him leave. Okay. But that really, and I felt like if he would have just stayed, he would have still balled out. But he's been a G League star. He's more than just dunking. That dude led the G League in scoring. He can put the ball in the hoop.
But he's short.
And
he don't play defense.
Defense can be worked on. Now,
yeah, you gotta no. Let's not go. I'm not gonna go down that road with you. I'm gonna let you.
Hollywood said Wilson at 4, and he said he can ball in the G League.
There you go. He like a G League special.
Oh,
like, for only $19.95. you can get a Ginsu knife and 16 other knives with it, but wait, there's more. That's him.
And Alvin said he couldn't stay at Georgetown. He had to leave. I
Oh,
heard it
geez,
was
I'm right with you. I heard the same thing.
it was something that it was him and another player. Something happened. And they were dismissed from the team. Patrick Ewing dismissed him from the team. But he was a part of the. I mean, Patrick Ewing didn't have very many good recruiting classes, but he was supposed to be he was supposed to be a part of the recruiting class that put us back on the top. So didn't happen though.
Where you
And Perry
know?
said a G League hoop. I'm not even gonna go that far. Sticking with the NBA, Jamal Mosley to the Pelicans. I ain't gonna say I saw this one coming, but I don't see this being long term, if you will. But Midnight Rider, what you got?
I always told you, 5 year deal. This is a team that could be ascending depending on what happens later on. Um, does Zion even take a step? Because I mean, that's been their biggest problem. Is they drafted that kid 1 overall, and I don't know what they've gotten from the Zion experience to make them happy or feel like they got a future. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think that's a place where they're going to struggle, and it's going to be a struggle for him. But he's the right man for the job because I said this before. That Mosley is just like Moses. He can get you out of the perils of Israel, but he might not get you to the promised land. So he's a great transition coach for them. And that's what I'm gonna start calling these coaches. He's a transition coach. So when you can get a team from being a middling, struggling team to a team that's on the precipice of the playoffs on a semi-consistent basis, but you can't get them any further because the promised land isn't meant for you, then
So
that's when they got to bring in another coach.
what you're saying is, if we talk in biblical terms, what you're saying is he's Moses. He can lead you to the River Jordan, but he can't go further.
Exactly.
Okay. And
Exactly.
is that but career wise, is that a good thing? Or is that going to be something that holds him back until the end of time?
No, no, it's never going to hold him back because he's always going to get a job. Because I think he's going to always prove to GMs and coaches that he can at least get you where you want to be. And that's what everybody's trying to do is they want to try to get to where they want to be. But he's
Leon said Zion might not take a step, but he'll take a burger.
oh, what was his nickname that I used to have for him? Oh, the Big Beignet. That's what I used to call him.
The
The
Big
Big
Beignet.
Beignet.
Jesus, man.
Hey man, that's a dude that you might have to get him out of that city. I think if
Yeah,
you want to unlock him and Ja Morant, well, Ja Morant, I don't know about, but if
you
you want to
gotta
unlock,
send John Morant to Utah. You gotta send
nah, he's not gonna
Zion to
fit in
Utah.
Utah.
Huh?
He's not gonna fit in Utah because they already got more than likely, depending on how this draft plays out, it's not gonna work for him there
Well, you know why I say send him to Utah?
because
Cause
they ain't got good food in Utah.
yeah, you landlocked, you can't eat, and you ain't got to worry about him, doing gun celebrations because the Mormons don't play that. With Zion, he need to be cleansed in the waters of Lake Minnetonka first, and then he need to go to Utah because he need to be cleansed of the porn stars with the BBLs.
Wait, what? BBL Drizzy.
But I like
Oh,
this for Jamal Mosley. I like this. I like that he's back on the sidelines, and I think that if they do this right, now the Pelicans, where the Pelicans picking? Nets, Kings, Hawks, Mavs, Bucks. Damn, I'm still scrolling. Do they even have a first round pick? Jesus,
they might not.
that's not gonna work. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something. But they're gonna have to make a move somewhere, and they're gonna have to build this team through free agency, and hopefully whatever talent they got in the G League. But that's
I
the
mean,
only way this is going to work. I think this is going to take 3 years at least for him to turn around and make them a playoff contender.
well, I mean, you trade your best scorer. What's up, Ant?
What's
Trade
happening?
your best scorer to Toronto, so you don't have Ingram. I mean, it's Williamson. I'm trying to think of what else they got, but I just don't. I just think they got to take their time and figure it out. And if you lost an asset because of a trade this year, you got to get something back next year. And this is why I think he's the perfect transition coach because he can get you through, this time right now while you're trying to figure out what you want to be and how you want to shape this. And then you can go moving forward from that point on after you shape it the way you want to shape it through of course you're going to do this all through the eyes of your GM, but once your GM figures out what he wants to do, it's good to go.
All right. Come on, there you go.
But they're gonna want to be one of them teams that when this whole, I know only one team's going over to the East, and I think it's gonna be Memphis. But if they don't take Memphis in that expansion, not the the expansion move, where you free up 2 spots in the West Coast for Seattle and Vegas, by moving Memphis to the East or New Orleans to the East. It just depends on which one gets it. I think Memphis is the more natural fit to the East
Yeah.
because they're closer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And as a part of Q and Anthony, he said, since you guys are talking about the draft, what can my Heat do to trade into the top 10? Because there's a lot of teams that want to trade out of the top 10. You're going to have to hedge your future, buddy.
Where's Miami at? Because Miami's biggest problem is, unfortunately, not a lot of teams in the top 10 listen to Whitney Houston, so they don't want when a hero comes along to make them strong. So that's part of the problem to begin with. So I think getting into the top 10 is tough. You're gonna have to want to see have a team that doesn't want a big. So like Golden State may not want somebody, but they're gonna want somebody from you. And I don't think the move for you is Golden State because Golden State's gonna be on a right now format. And I don't think anything from Tyler Hero to the Yakib kid from UCLA, I don't see a right now impact player from Miami. And I think that's part of their problem. I haven't heard much about. But what else are you giving them? That's the problem. That's the part that it's like, yeah, maybe Miami wants. They want Hero, but what else can you give them? And what else is going to make them a viable franchise going forward? Right now you're duct taping things together and being very analytical and getting your selves into the playoffs, at least into the play-in. So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul right now. So like this, I just find it hard for a team like Miami to make a move up. And I don't know. NBA free agency is weird because, you can only get top dollar from the team that you with and then move. And then that's, again, another sign and trade. So what are you offering talent-wise that's going to get you a sign and trade? That's all. Like, that's just the kind of where I'm at right now when it comes to Miami. I just think Miami's in that vortex that teams don't want to be in or shouldn't want to be in, where you're good enough to be 8, 9, 10, but you're not good enough to be 4, 5, 6.
All right, Midnight Rod, let's take a break real quick in the middle of the NBA and then come on back and we'll finish off the NBA. We'll talk about the draft as a whole. We'll finish up our draft talk, and then we'll talk about game 1 of the Western Conference Finals and get a live peek at game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
On you when we come back.
All right.
Tonight, the bell rings and the stories begin. Welcome to the ride.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is probably the hippest trip that you can ever take during the week. That is none other than the intro to the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. This Saturday, shoot, we should be back talking about the Ronda Rousey fight, Saturday night main event, and whatever else that came up this week by the time we get to Saturday. That's wrestling. So join us 9 p.m. on Saturday night. Anthony says, we're giving them Hero, Jamie, and the 13th pick with the future pick swaps in the 2029 draft.
Okay. I like your confidence. Confidence is on high, it sounds like. Confidence is on high.
Now, speaking of drafting, NBA draft thoughts. What should the Wizards do?
Now, I asked this question to you because I've expressed my thoughts before on last week's Nothing But Net. So I'm just curious as to where you fall on this. Because I don't think C. Perry and I are going to get back into this this week. So I just want to get a pulse, if you will, of what the big guy KG thinks that the Wizards should do, what they should be open to. And if you want, we can go Brian Mitchell, JP Finley style, and I can give you 100 chips, and you can put your chips in draft. I'll give you 4 options. I'll give you draft the Beyonce, or the Bonsa, Peterson, trade the pick, Caleb Wilson.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and push all my chips forward. I don't like the reports that are coming out because this is what y'all get on me about who I follow and the things that I come across, and I be telling y'all I'm not tripping. These are things that people are saying, and it's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. They're saying that AJ DeBanster, the BYU kid, they say that he tanked his workout with the Wizards because he doesn't want the Wizards to pick him. It doesn't matter. They still want to pick him. Granted,
It's
Utah wants him. Huh?
I said it's all his tape, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some guys, whether it's NBA, NHL, no matter what, sometimes you don't really work out well, but when the lights come on and you step on that field, you're the best person on the field. I not to change the subject, it was a content creator on TikTok was like, Jerry Rice would never make it in this era because he ran a 4.740, and I'm like, dude, Jerry Rice is outrunning everybody.
All right.
From the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s, he was 42, taking some of the best corners of the generation and putting them in the mix. So don't ever disrespect him over a daggone combine, a workout numbers. And when it comes to this BYU kid, AJ DeBanster, he will be a Wizard. Only thing that needs to be found out is what number he's going to wear. And I'm pushing all the chips to the middle of the table and saying that's who they're going to pick. They're going to stay in the number 1 pick because they're going to get it right this time. The last time they had the number 1 pick, they picked John Wall. Did it work out? For a little while it did. They just never really put nothing with John Wall that they could have long-term success with. It was him and Bradley Beal. They overhyped themselves and they called themselves the best backcourt in the NBA. And at that time, the best backcourt in the NBA was Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler. But I digress. But they're going to get it right this time. When I say they're going to get it right, they're going to get it right, and they're going to take it long-term. If AD stays or AD goes, whatever. This is going to set the Wizards up the right way. And they're going to put it, and I'm not talking they're going to be middle of the pack, 45 wins. Now, I think this might put them at the 50-win mark with this young core. I've never seen the Wizards get this young. It's normally go get an Asian superstar or somebody in their former glory.
Relax.
I saw it. You blended in and I saw it. I was like, no, we're not going to relax. And I'm not a Wizard fan. I'm a Wizard supporter.
No, I too am a Wizard supporter. I think you're in the honeycomb area. I think 39-45, 39-46 is where they want to be. For this to be a successful season for them. But the kicker and the key is going to be what they do with AD. I think there's going to be some teams looking for some short-term solutions that's got to settle some things in their thing because they don't like the way their playoffs ended. And that's going to give you market value or better value for AD now than it would if you played him 20 to 25 games in the season.
Now, let me ask you a question. With what you have currently in DC, right? I don't understand AD's stance with, I want to see what they're going to do before I make a decision if I want to be here, bro. You like the bad dude at the job that they keep moving you from department to department. You only got so many more moves before you fired. You about that close to not having a damn job your damn self.
The only problem is he's 7 foot. He's got wingspan, and he can play really good. So
When he's healthy,
hey, it don't matter.
you got,
In the words of Jesse Jackson, up with hope, down with dope. Like he got potential. He can, even if you like. I think Josh even dropped it like, hey, you just space him out. Maybe you manage him till Christmas. Maybe he plays twice a week. Maybe once a week, and then you let him get to Christmas healthy and ready to go, and then maybe you let him go and don't let him play on the other end of back to backs. But you can manage him the whole way. The only problem is I don't think that's the Wizards' job because I don't think the Wizards need to do that. I think they need to get him moving while he's hot. And I think there are a couple of teams that finished this season with unsatisfactory marks and some unsatisfactory help for their players. Like a Detroit. I mean, I know you got the kid Duran, but why wouldn't you indulge in Anthony Davis? Because you know what he's going to do, but you got to get him to the playoffs.
mm-hmm.
It's just there's teams and there's options out there where Golden State is a win now.
Yes.
Golden State, they can't put this on a wing and a prayer. They can't wish upon a star. Just can't.
Okay. Now, this is something that I'm looking at the Wizards roster as of right now. Nobody's released anything. You got your steady-handed point guard, which is Trae Young, who wants to be here. So Trae Young's your steady hand. You got Cam Whitmore, Alex Sarr, D'Angelo Russell, Julian Reese is here on a 2-way contract. Anthony Gill, Keyshawn George, Anthony Davis, mentioned before, Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington. You got a core. And that I'm looking at this. I'm like, I would take this on 2K and run with this. Like I would dog people with this. But if AD can stay healthy, but you got to have a backup if he goes down. And Alex Sarge is 7-footer. I don't need him hurt. But imagine playing him and AD together, and they're healthy for 72 to 79 games.
Not going to happen.
I'm just saying, imagine.
No,
I thought about that too, Hollywood. Bring AD home to Chicago. I thought about that too.
All you
I
doing
thought
is
about that. But it's like, what do we got to give up to get him? Number one, number two. I mean, our cupboard's damn near bare. But the thing is he going to be available, or is he going to be in street clothes most nights?
Well, no, the question is going to be, is he going to want to accept that trade or make that move? Because I don't think he will see Chicago adding him as a way to get them one step closer to the finals or the playoffs. I mean, he might get them to the playoffs, but he won't get them contending for a championship. And he said there's two things he wants. It's his money and he wants a chance at a championship. Now, maybe you guys pay him early and give him his extension when he gets there, but I mean, do you want that guy?
Okay. Well, let me ask you another question. Because let's say you do get AJ DeBanster and he's just 6'8". So you got D'Angelo Russell. Do you keep D'Angelo Russell?
Hell no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Huh?
You don't like D'Lo?
Heck no.
Okay.
He wore out his welcome when he snitched on Nick
On,
Young.
on Nick Young.
Yeah, that wore out his welcome with me.
So I want to see what Koulibaly does. I want to see what Bub does. I want to see what Alex Sarr does. I know Alex Sarr can play.
I'm gonna say it to you like this. I think Bub becomes expendable and Koulibaly becomes expendable because of this number one pick.
Why?
Because you gonna have too many like same parts. You have too many wings that's gonna need the basketball. You're gonna have Kashawn George, Will Riley. If you draft the Bonsa, you got the Bonsa. You got Trey Johnson. Of course, you got Trey Young. You got the kid, the defensive kid. I think his name is Watkins or something like that from Florida State. Like you just gonna have bodies, and like you gonna have to create. No,
Now,
hell
now
no,
look, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
but see, I say it for a different reason. I don't ever want KD to come and play in this city at all because he brought up a really, really good point. You do everything you can to get out of the city, to get out of the area. You come back, a lot of trouble can happen. It's a lot of local players that I really don't want back in the city, but they do come back to play, and it's like, get the hell out of here.
I want to sing the song for you. Hell to the no, no, no. No, I don't want KD back in DC because it doesn't fit the timeline. By the time this team is really ready to make the next step, KD's got to retire in 2 years or a year. So it doesn't make like we got to stay focused on the process and the program. You're not going to add an AD. I'm sorry, a KD to this. Really, they shouldn't have added AD, but I get the AD part because you can hide him, and they did, and try to flip him for an asset now as opposed to waiting later. If they wait, you allow AD the opportunity to get hurt, and then he diminishes his value again. So that's
Agreed.
why this summer is his apex time to get moved.
I'm gonna throw something out there. Just tell me what you think. You sent AD to Chicago for the number 4 pick. Chicago's desperate. They still got another first round pick, but you sent AD for the number 4.
Then if that's the case, I'm automatically drafting Peterson 1, and then I'm automatically drafting Wilson. What's left of Wilson and Boozer.
Hollywood said, "Hell no." Hey, look, that's a thing. Change the title tonight to "Hell no." That's the theme for the night. So,
Oh man.
speaking of NBA, we got a game in progress. Knicks are up in Madison Square Garden 20-13 with 2 minutes to go in the first. Last night, the Spurs 122, the Thunder 115. They win game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. San Antonio leads the series 1-0. So I'm sure you guys will really talk about that and how Wemby took over in the final minutes to put that thing away.
I think if you got a counter of the times that Josh says Victor Wembanyama, I think you put it on 15 and you just take the over.
Now, I'm gonna say this before we jump off the NBA. I'm gonna say this. I said it once before, but I'm gonna say it again. And this is probably the most wonderful time that I had to eat crow. I said Wembanyama game is not going to translate to the NBA because he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. He went and did something that I've been saying about big men for quite some time since we've been doing this show. 2017. If you're a big, there's no reason in the world why you're not going down to Houston to see Hakeem Olajuwon. If you are anybody that plays in the post, you should be going to see Hakeem Olajuwon. What did he do? Went to go see Hakeem Olajuwon. That man's footwork is impeccable. Then, on top of that, he's been they was like on social media They said, keep Wemby away from Jamal Crawford. Because they were talking dribbling techniques, and they showed Wemby dribbling up court and going behind his back, and then he coming through the lane. I was like, oh, no. If he get a handle at that, oh, no. Oh, no. And I think Wemby is going to be what we could have got if the injuries wouldn't have happened in Ralph Sampson. I'm just saying.
I think there's a. I know where you're going with it, but I think because of the evolution of the players and the way we play basketball, I think he's going to be so far out in front of what Ralph Sampson could have been. That it's not even fair to Ralph to even make that statement sometimes. I get where you're going with it, but I think the 7'4" athletic big, I think because the limitations weren't on Ralph, the limitations were on how we play basketball.
Agreed. Hollywood said OKC versus Cleveland in the finals. To move into the theme of the show, hell nah. New York versus San Antonio rematch in 99. New York wins it in 6.
What else we got?
Switching over to football. Rashee Rice gets 30 days in jail. He has to serve 30 days in jail for probation violation. He's going to miss OTAs, and minicamp after knee surgery. So he tested positive for THC, according to a court order dated May 19th, was booked in the Dallas County Jail at 12:15 on Tuesday and will remain in custody until June 16th. I'm gonna let you handle this one first because I know I'm gonna be a lot more harsh than you, so I'll let you handle this one first.
Nah, I mean I'm gonna keep mine simple. So you might as well go ahead and just start loading up your answer now, your response, because my response is gonna be simple. It's gonna take less than 30 seconds. Besides me lining it up to say what I'm gonna say, but there's another great poet laureate out in this world. His name is Fred G. Sanford, and he used to look at Lamont and call him "you big dummy," and that's all I gotta say to Rashee Rice. You big dummy. You got away with this, and then you turn around. Now maybe the THC was for like the healing process or whatever, but maybe that's something you check with the people and see if they can fix that and get that passed for you. But otherwise, you're just stupid. And I'm a venture on the side that he's just stupid and dumb for not A, trying to get it cleared so he can use the THC if he's using it for health reasons, but B, just for the fact that he went back and used the THC. Go ahead, KJ. Oh, you.
I'm not gonna be as forgiving. I'm not gonna be as calm as the Midnight Rider because he's mastered his Zen like quality. I have not.
I don't know if you ask me speak.
But Rashee Rice, young buck. I don't know if he'll ever see this. You need your OG in your life. You're 26 years old. You're on the last year of your rookie contract. There's no guarantee you're going to get another contract. Is he talented? Hell yeah. But boy, you got to be about the dumbest motherfucker I ever seen in my life. Oh. How do you play a kid's game for a king's ransom? You get to do what you love every single day, but you're pissing it away with this dumb shit. Like you need a OG, you need an unc, you need a grandfather. You need the grandfather that work on engines with his bare hands and no gloves and he got grease under his nails. You need to sit down and have a conversation with him about how hard life can be, because obviously you're not getting it, man. Like, I swear to God and 5 more black people, you couldn't be my nephew. You couldn't be my son. You couldn't be my cousin, because I would be hanging boot all in your ass. This is not good, man. If they decide to cut you, you do know the money stops, right? There's no guarantee another team is going to pick you up. And you've pissed away your damn career. For what? For foolishness. Nobody said you don't have to live life and things like that, but you got to be smart. You got to move smarter. You already got 2 strikes against you. You young and you black. The 3rd strike is you got money. Why make yourself a target? Like, Jesus, man. I hate seeing these young dudes in the NBA, the MLB, the NBA. It don't really happen too much in the NHL, but I hate seeing these young dudes do something that you love and then you do something stupid. You do something stupid and mess it all up. Like, I don't get it. You gotta have somebody in your ear talking to you saying, hey man, don't do that. That's not okay. It's not about anybody trying to run your life. It's about somebody that actually cares about you, not a bunch of yes men and yes women that say, oh yeah, go ahead, turn up, fool. Yeah, oh, get lit. You need somebody that's actually saying, nah, man, go home, get yourself a good night rest. You got to work out in the morning. It's 10:30. Go home.
You good?
It aggravates me, man. It frustrates me because I can say myself, and there's probably thousands of people listening that feel the same way. If you could trade places and you could get your youth, your speed, everything, your skill back, even if you could upgrade your skill to the point where you're an NFL player and you get that chance to do nothing but play in the NFL, play in the NBA, play in the MLB, play in the NHL because you love the sport that much, but you get paid to play a sport you love. I know plenty of people that would trade places with you. Plenty. I myself am one of them. I would love to. I would love, and it's not even about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the love of the game. Like, geez, man, like you have this opportunity, but you piss it away not once, not twice, but 3 times. And it's not just him. Henry Ruggs, he think he's gonna come back and play in the NFL. Dude, you killed somebody. And then sat on the curb while that lady and her dog burned. Like,
He'll get another shot, dog.
if he gets another shot,
Don't say nothing crazy.
huh?
Don't say nothing crazy.
No, I mean, what makes sense if you talking about Henry Ruggs, right?
Yo, just he might get another shot. So I'm gonna say, dog. Don't can't go. I know you want to say, but no, don't do that.
I'll leave it at that. Couple of comments. Alvin said absolutely and agree. I think that's about the Knicks. Is that about the Knicks and the Spurs in the finals? Hollywood said, I think Rice gets cut, wash your hands and with them and move on. I agree with that. I mean, shoot, you ain't losing no money.
Nah, I definitely don't agree with that because talent. You gotta keep talent in the building.
Yeah, but you can't, if you want that type of talent in the building that is a can't get right, what's the point of having talent if you can't get right? What's the point of having talent if you constantly suspended? You constantly out. What's the point? It's talent wasted.
Hey, let's do this executive decision real quick.
Okay.
Let's table Commander's schedule later. And let's do a cursory over this Canucks fire, which we call it, and then let's get out of here. That way we like under an hour and 10.
Gotcha. So, geez, I lost my spot here. Hold on. Lost my spot.
So let's finish the comments as much as we can, and then.
All right, here we go. Comments. Anthony said, when we get back to basketball, I have a serious question. I was too young to remember Rasheed Wallace, the Portland Trail Blazers. How good was he? Is he in the post by the time I started watching? He was real good.
Yeah, he was definitely in the post, and he's the reason in Detroit that Detroit wins it. To be honest with you, He was their missing
Yeah,
piece. He was the guy that gets them over the hump. Here's the issue that is Teddy Bridgewater situation. Example, we tried to get the help for kids. Parents got him fired for doing that. Don't put that on the parents, dog. Hold on, go
that's
back
on
to
the
this.
district.
Yeah, I think this is. I don't even think this is on the district. I think this is on the school. Um, I'm gonna say it this way without saying certain things, but there are times that there are people in the building that you work in as an educator or as a person that's working with kids that they want the credit for what they doing and they don't want you to get credit for what you doing. So they will put landmines in the field, try to blow up your situation to only make theirs look better. And I say that from experience.
Got you. And Anthony said, I use the phrase for boxing, it's the hood financial advisor that's getting in the heads of these kids for basketball, football, and boxing.
I think we can take boxing out of it because right now boxing isn't as viable as the other sports. But I'm gonna throw something else out there. I forgot to throw this on the timeline. So let's don't even worry about the Canucks coach because we got this. We got something that you brought up earlier, the Brendan Sorsby kid, and I love the way this kid's lawyer is trying to frame this case as he's got like this mental health issue with gambling, and he's trying to his gambling is because of a byproduct of his mental health issues, not a byproduct of him just wanting to gamble on stuff and doing things. And it's a great story, but at the end of the day, I think I said this to you. I may have said it to you on Monday. I mean on Sunday. But this kid knows one thing. If I go back and I can get my butt back into the good graces at Texas Tech, I earned somewhere in the neighborhood from 4 to 8 million playing quarterback at Texas Tech. If I get drafted in a supplemental draft, whether it's a second round or a third round pick, maybe even a fourth, that 8 million that I was looking forward to at Texas Tech is my whole contract. I don't know if you've heard stuff from like the rookie symposium. There's a lot of rookies that were like, "Yeah, I got to the NFL," especially quarterbacks that weren't drafted in the first round and said, "Yeah, I got to the NFL and took a pay cut." Think about Carson Beck. Carson Beck made maybe 7 or 8 million himself last year at Miami. And if I'm wrong, Anthony can tell me the exact amount. But now he's playing for what 4 years and maybe 5 million.
If you're lucky.
It's amazing that you're going to see a lot of these young quarterbacks stick around the league. I mean, stick around in NCAA because they get paid more than they would going pro. So you might as well go. So yeah, that's the landscape. The kid that's at Miami that was at Duke, what's his name, Mensa? He making a pretty penny going to Miami.
Yeah.
These dudes getting paid. All they doing is changing the address. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say this. I think this is part of the reason why the kid Chambliss is trying to stick around at Ole Miss.
Yeah. It's got, but when you know for a fact that the money is not going to be as good if you go pro, what you going to do? You going to fight for your eligibility?
Hell yeah. I love this
Like,
college.
you got guys that got 9 years of daggone eligibility now.
That's craziness on right, and yeah, but that's yeah. That was my soapbox moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all right. So we on 106. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. We can hit this real quick. The Canucks did fire their coach and his staff.
Right.
Adam Foote of the Vancouver Canucks was fired after the new GM. I'm waiting for my ESPN to load back up. Took over 5 days ago. They call it him being dealt a bad hand, is what they called it. First year coach and fired after his first season. I wish Maddie was here because this is crazy to me.
Why do I want to? All right, this is going to be crazy, but I swear in my head, when I hear the name Adam Foote, I think of the Colorado Avalanche and the number 52. Now I'm gonna check this real quick
Okay.
because that's who it is. Um, he's got a 5 on his jersey. I can't see the other number. Yep, 52, Adam Foote. Okay, all right, I'm good. Yeah, that this is mine. This thing is hey, every now and then you gotta pull the string and it ain't as automatic as it used to be, baby.
Now,
But nah,
here's a
yeah.
question,
Go
and
ahead.
this I'm trying to I'm being honest, but I'm being facetious at the same time. You know, when you're in hockey and the coach, like when Oates was here, his nickname was Oatesy.
Right. Is he
Trotz was here,
footsie?
he was Trotsy. So I wonder is his name Footsy.
It might be. Stupid. This spectacular analysis is brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I couldn't get through without laughing, but what you got before we roll up out of here?
We took care of Zoe. We took care of everything that I can think of. Shout out to my man Chris Russell, because he's finding it very hard to die on this hill, to not die on the hill of him thinking that the Wizards are doing this the wrong way. He keeps moving the goalposts, but it's okay, Chris. You can be wrong. The Wizards. This is the right way for the Wizards to rebuild. So I know you're saying, oh, with this group of great intellectual minds, they should be able to do this and do that. It's just not the way the NBA works, because you don't get free agents like you used to, because most players sign back with their team, and then you have to sign and trade and do all this stuff. And people were jumping on the Denny Avdia thing, like, oh, Avdia was this revelation. You ain't think nothing about Denny Avdia and him going somewhere else until you saw this season in particular. So stop the line to yourself. You never said, "Oh no, we should never get rid of Denny Avdia."
This guy said it. This guy said it.
And you was wrong.
I'm probably the only person that did, but this guy said it.
Yeah, I told you was wrong then.
Yeah, you did, because you gave me the blues.
Yes. And I was still
Him
good.
and Corey Kispert. Those are the two guys. I was like, nah, you can't get rid of those. Those are your young guys. You was like, let them go.
I'm gonna quote the great poet. I don't even know what I know. It's from the movie Frozen. I forget her. Ella. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Both of them. I'm sorry. All right. I'm done quoting people for the night.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the show. We'll be back. We will be back on Thursday. Make sure you get your unbreakable records for all sports so you can pass them to the front. That's your homework assignment, ladies and gentlemen. Unbreakable sports records.
I forgot about that. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah. Because like I'm making my list now. It's taking me a while to make lists, and I'm just ticking them off the list when people say them. Because I probably pull out something that's so deep in the daggone bowels of dingo. Yeah, I'm like, what? What is that? I don't know.
It's not. I'm not, because I'm gonna be like, that's KJ.
But
Also, don't forget, tomorrow night we got Nothing But Net, 7:30 p.m. Coming to you live on Facebook Live, YouTube. Also coming to you live on X. So check us out tomorrow. We can give you your NBA preview through the eyes and through the lenses of two old heads and our young buck hanging out with us, just trying to kick it with the OGs.
so that is coming up tomorrow at what time again?
7:30.
7:30. Nothing But Net, baby. Make sure you are there. And if everything goes right, Perry should be in a really great mood tomorrow.
Boo 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 boo. 45, 47.
So Thank you, everybody that was in the comments. Hollywood Rhodes, Alvin, Anthony, Perry, everybody that commented, everybody that watched. Thank you. I will see you on Thursday. The Midnight Rider will see you tomorrow night. He is the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. I will say we don't do no overtime. We're getting better. We chopping it down.
Yeah.
But we are out of here.